Lev Parnas is back for the weekend roundup, and we're just catching up after the weekend. We have a ton of batshit crazy Trump stuff to get to today, my friends, in America and Canada, as Lev and I talk about democracy, what's at stake. Of course, Lev Parnas needs no introduction. Lev is and always has been a Trump associate up until the time he got shafted, turned award-winning whistleblower, award-winning author, subject of To Russia from Lev, an incredible documentary with Matt Au. And now he is ringing bells like nobody else is ringing bells. He is decoding MAGA. He is warning people. He is keeping in touch with people on the inside. Incredible work this weekend, but I found out you just went to a lion safari. Is that correct?
Lion Country Safari. I took the kids. Yeah, we were able to get out a little bit. We got to feed the giraffes, and kind of it was pretty cool.
Oh, did you?
Lots of fun. Yeah.
See, I've been to one African lion. So sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say, you gotta remember, for me, all of this is like, I feel like a kid in a candy store. I've been locked up for the past 6 years, from home confinement to prison to, COVID, to having some of the most strictest bail conditions that, mass murderers don't even get those type of bail conditions that I had. So, so for me, like, every chance I get to go out, do something with the family or the kids, it's like, it's incredible. So yeah, no, it was great.
So weird, right? Like, just this jet set lifestyle that you lived, being a Giuliani associate, traveling overseas, being a proxy of the president of the United States, to like being so grateful that you get to go to an African country lion safari, right? Like, I mean, where are you at, by the way, with your bail conditions? Like, when can you start moving around freely? Because that's new.
I have another year. Supervised release, so that's why a lot of the shit that I do and write, and it's like, it doesn't come easy, because I constantly have to, not only my sources, but me personally. I mean, I constantly have to deal with all kinds of shit that I have to go through to be able to, jump through hoops, as you want to call it. But, I have a good legal team. I have God on my side. Plus, I have an incredible community, that's turned into now a movement. So thanks to each and every one of you guys, it makes it, the bigger we get, the harder it is for him to try to do something, because then it becomes national, it becomes big, and it keeps the spotlight on. And you see what happens. Just perfect example with this whole Epstein stuff. Remember, I'm going to remind you, it was that July 6th. It was the day. It was that July 4 long weekend we had, when July 6th they came out with that, shadowy letter that wasn't even signed, saying that they're going to shut down the Epstein stuff. And, it all started there, where I told you, keep shine the light on it, keep talking about it, keep making it grow. It's his kryptonite. And you see where we are today. I mean, literally 14, 15 days later, 20 days later, he's still right now mumbling and jumbling, and we're going to get into it. But I mean, the guy literally today said something so sick and so crazy that it's not even funny. I mean, it's really, when he literally turned around and said that he considered it a privilege to go to a pedophile island. I just want everybody to think that for a second. On the world stage, sitting there in front of the whole world, talking about, and he, not only is he just, I don't know, when we'll talk about it, because I have sources telling me different things about, is it cognitive decline? Is he's just completely losing?
Yeah, is he sick?
Dementia?
Yeah.
Is it, I mean, but for him to sit there and literally just, first of all, just go into saying that he has no clue. He has no clue. I mean, this is of what's going on with Epstein. Maxwell, he didn't think of pardon. Nobody's asked. What do you mean nobody asked him? Her lawyer, David Marcus, came on TV, on Twitter, talked about, your number two guy, your attorney, the number two guy in the country, Attorney General Todd Blanche, is in there right now. Your fixer is with him. I reported how you spoke with him, how you guys already discussed. He laid everything out to you. Pam Bondi laid everything out to you, and he stand there and say, "Oh, I don't know anything about." But Larry Summers, oh, watch that name. Oh, but Clinton, I don't know nothing about. I mean, are you kidding me?
Hedge fund guys, look out for those dudes. Hedge fund guys, they all lived with Epstein. I never lived with Epstein. In fact, I'll get you a list. And now admitting there's a list. I mean, like, dude, he spent the last 2 fucking weeks going, There's no list. It's a hoax. And if there
No,
is
but
one, it was made up by Dems.
well, today, yeah, today he went on another rampage that it was all made up again by Comey. I mean, he keeps forgetting that it was Bill Barr and his Justice Department that arrested him. He somehow skips through that whole shit. He goes from before Bill Barr, and then he goes right away to the Bidens, but he skips the most important part, that it was Bill Barr. It was under Donald Trump's DOJ. It was under his that Epstein was indicted, arrested, killed, murdered, or hung himself, whatever you want to call it. It was all
Mhm.
under his watch, but he never mentions that. He goes so it's like he wants you to say, and it's the old crazy mentality, but it's incredible just to watch it play out on the world stage. When you see, but if there is a list, I'm not on that list, and if there is a list, and I happen to be on that list, it's because Obama made up that list and Comey inserted it, and it wasn't there. And then Biden came in, and for 4 years, they've manipulated a list
List.
that probably doesn't exist because I'm shutting it down. There is no list. But just in case I mean, this is the shit that we're dealing with. I mean,
Oh,
it's
my
like,
God.
I swear to you, if you take us a list and you just put out, if you go back to the Abbott Costello, for those of you old enough to remember, who's
Who's on
first?
first?
What's on second? Who's on third? No, yesterday. Bring in the catcher. I mean, come on. Like, what are we? If this wasn't like serious, I mean, if we weren't talking about, I mean, this would be, you'd think this is SNL skits here. Like,
Yeah.
this is like, somebody's out there literally, but no, he's literally sitting there on the world stage. He's very serious. Like, you see him, he makes that face, he thinks, but the second part was the privilege, the privilege. He didn't have the privilege in his.
Yeah, being on Epstein Island. I was never given the, keep talking, dude. Like two quotes that he had this morning, and we'll get into it because Donald Trump had a terrible weekend, and we're trying to wade through cognitive decline, and we're trying to wade through criminality. But I believe the dimension, the cognitive decline, is feeding into his inability to stick with the lie, something he used to be able to do, right? And now it's all, there is no list. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not paying attention. And this morning, we'll recap Scotland, still in Scotland, but this morning met with Keir Starmer and Team UK and was like literally a barrage of Epstein shit, right? Like the reporters are like, hey, listen, this guy's losing his fucking mind. Let's just keep asking him questions about Epstein. And it's like, hey, have you ever been to Epstein Island? To your point, he's like, I've never had the privilege of going to an island where thousands of young women. By the way, he's on a bunch of flight logs, at least 7 to 12 times that we know of, to Epstein Island in the Bahamas. By the way, just wanted to point that out. Physical evidence of that. It's in a blog that I wrote this morning. Please go and check it out. And so now he's lying about that. And then he says the list doesn't exist. And Democrats are just trying to run a conspiracy theory. And to your point, then leans into the list that exists 2 days earlier when he was at the airport. And they're like, hey, are you gonna pardon Ghislaine Maxwell? And he's like, I don't want to talk about pardons. And by the way, what he says the same time he pardons everybody from Mike Flynn to Paul Manafort to every single person he's pardoned, Steve Bannon. They're like, I haven't even thought about it. They get a pardon. Ghislaine Maxwell, he said it 5 times that I can count. Haven't even thought about it. You're right. And so what I want to know is what you saw this weekend from his disgusting fucking lie that he has never had the privilege of going to an island where young girls were trafficked and raped and sexually assaulted for for 2 decades, as a matter of fact. What I want to know is he having a hard time keeping up with the cognitive decline? Because in one breath, like I said, he'll say there's no list, and then in the next breath, he'll admit there's a list and tell you who's on it and tell reporters he's going to get them the fucking list.
I think it's a combination of things. First of all, he's when you lie so much and
Yeah.
then you get caught out, and there's it's like it catches up with you. I mean, it's caught up with him plenty of times. The only difference is that usually his base, everybody around him rallies and it helps deflect the lie. And it's like no matter, it's like rah rah rah, and they're like it don't matter, and you just like all right, let's move on. But here it's a little different. Here, the more he tries to reflect. Now his base, his cult, his whatever you want to call it, whatever you call it, I call it a cult, but
Yeah.
they have now started to realize that he is they start to see the lies. Because when it comes to the Epstein stuff, sitting there evaluating his words now. They're sitting here now, before, like, when
It was all blind faith before, right? Yeah.
well, see, all these trigger words that he used to say before, because these are all trigger words, like, Obama, Clinton, deep state, child pedophilia, all of that. These were all trigger words that he would trigger, because as soon as he would say those words, that's it. It's like the blinders go on, the base, the cult, everybody goes like this, and it doesn't matter what the news is, doesn't matter what, he goes into that, and the crowd is like, that's it. Here now it's going the opposite, because here now every time he's saying that, he's saying it, don't pay attention to it. He's saying it's a lie. He's saying basically, and he's calling his people crazy. He's telling, like,
Mm.
literally, like, even today, he's saying, like, I still can't believe, like, we're talking about this, like I don't understand how this is a big deal. Like, you know what I'm saying to you, like,
It's the biggest deal in the world. It's a transnational criminal enterprise of a sex trafficking ring of children. And that, when he said that too, you talk about the disgusting nature of the privilege of being on Epstein Island, the disgusting nature of him saying it's not a big deal. I mean, there are thousands of victims who would beg to differ, Lev.
well, that's the whole problem. And it's like, Donald, one thing about Donald Trump, it doesn't matter if it comes to our US elections, if it comes to renaming the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of Americas, to the way, the war stopped, the conflict stopped between Pakistan and India, and he wants to make it seem that he stopped it. He always wants to rewrite history.
Mm.
He wants to make up history, rewrite history to be the way where it benefits him the best, where it makes him the what's it called, and he has a constantly this is has a hard time doing it, because it just like he's like he steps into shit wherever he goes, like, because he's a bumbling fool to begin with, what I'm saying to you. He can't does The people that he has around him are bumbling fools. They're just loyalists. You got to think about the crew that he has around him, everybody around him, wake up every morning and think of a way, and they put on their X or Twitter or whatever you want, and they take a look at what everybody else in their crew, in that loyalty crew is tweeting and talking about, and they think, how am I going to outdo the next one?
Mm.
How am I going to go do something more crazier, more outlandish to to impress Donald Trump than the other one? So if all of a sudden you got Pam Bondi with the list, you got Tulsi coming out with referrals and indictments. You have little Marco, talking about the war in Russia. You got Ron DeSantis all of a sudden building Alcatraz, alligator Alcatraz. Each one is trying to do the other, to try shine and to show him that they can go even crazier, even further to his extremist points, to be able. That's the sick part, to take a look at what it is. It's they're all trying to outdo them. And the sickest part where the media needs to start concentrating on it more. And this is where we need to, because he's out in the open on Fox and everything, but for some reason, like, you won't have it, and we need the social media, because that's the next alarm bell that I'm starting to ring, and I keep ringing. I know I keep talking about election 2026. I talk about election reform. But Stephen Miller, like, I mean, the shit that's going on, like the things that they're implementing and putting into place and going, like, right now, the shit that's happening behind the scenes with Pam Bondi right now, that has nothing to do with the Epstein stuff, but has to do with election reform, what they're trying to implement and stuff. I mean, these no, like, that needs to be we need like a big spotlight on that. Like, there has to be a
Mm.
spotlight that, yeah, we could talk about anything, but that has to be mentioned in every conversation. That has to be brought and paid to put to attention in every conversation, because by the time, and just think about it, by the time the media jumps on it, it's going to be too late.
Yeah.
They're going to report on what he has done already. We need to stop it before they're able to do it. We have to fight them before they're able to change these laws. We have to fight them before are able to implement and do something. Because while all of this is happening, there's a whole team of people that are, like, and I keep mentioning some of them, but the leaders of that whole group are the Stephen Millers, the Russell
Russell
Vaughn,
Vaught, yeah,
Russell Vaughn,
Tim Burchett, the whole
Tim
group. Yeah.
Burgess. I mean, those guys, I mean, they're sitting there, they have an agenda. They don't give a shit about this Epstein stuff. They don't give a shit about Russia, Ukraine,
I think part of it is
Israel.
they kind of appreciate the cover
Oh no,
to,
that's what they love it. That's what we
yeah.
do. They actually love, because what they care about is turning America into something that we don't want it to be. See, we
Mhm.
have two wars. So that's why I say Trump is that, always the showman that's being used by somebody. Either it's Putin and his war in Ukraine, either it's Netanyahu in the Middle East, either it's Stephen Miller here back at home with what, I'm saying to you. He's out there going at distractions, doing all this while the real major craziness is happening, so
Well,
I
and the craziness, like to your point, the craziness is only getting crazier because it's being fueled by his cognitive decline. A couple weeks ago, we found out, and keep in mind, everything that comes out of this regime is a lie. So for them to admit that Donald Trump actually had what they call venous insufficiency, which is a vein problem, returning blood from his legs to his heart or his extremities back to his heart, swollen ankles, big bruises, but you don't just see the physical decline in real time, him hunched over, and we'll get to him cheating at golf and what he looked like golfing this weekend, missing a billion putts and then fucking picking his ball. I mean, just crazy. My point is this: is that the powers that put Trump where he is have to be concerned. And I don't know what you're hearing about his cognitive, mental, physical state from the White House, but he can't keep up, as we said earlier, with the lies. But what are you hearing? What are some of the rumors or well founded sources telling you right now about his mental, physical, and emotional state?
well, I could tell you, it's interesting that you asked, because I hate, I try never to go into rumors or, rabbit holes. I try to stick to as much facts as I can. But I'll tell you this much: about 2 3 weeks ago, yes, I had some sources that were talking about that there's something wrong. You know what I'm saying to you? Then came out, Carolyn Levitt came out, said about, mentioned the one thing I'll tell you about with, if you always have to multiply it by like 10. So
Mhm.
if she said that it's like, he has a bee bite, a bee bit him, and it's like a little bug bite, and that's all it is. He probably is allergic to the bee bite and is having an allergic reaction in the background to try and save his life, but she's not going to tell you that. She's going to just tell
Mhm.
you it was a bee bite. So
Yeah.
that's the first tell. The fact that they already came out and mentioned it, that's very serious.
It's
Okay.
the same dude that had a doctor co-sign a note that said he probably lived till he was 200 the first time he got into
So
office.
he's like the healthiest. He's every test. I mean, well, he just even did, like, not too long ago. Like, literally, didn't he do a exam or something like that? And he came out flying colors.
Oh yeah, the cognitive exam where he's like horse, camera, man, person, like that guy.
Person, woman, yeah, like it.
And he's like, I did the best anybody ever did. No one's ever seen anything like it. I identified a horse and a camera and a person. No big deal. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I can't, like, I can't even imagine, like, literally the shit that
But
comes out of his
dude, but
mouth.
keep in mind that was 7 years ago. He had that
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, that
And he's
was.
80.
And he still talks about it. He still talks about, I mean,
He
just
can't
think about it.
stop. He
He's
can't
still,
stop.
I mean, it's like, at some point, I think even like some of his mega base, like some of the cult, are starting to realize he's like that. Sometimes you have these one-time wonders, like comedians. They'll come out, they'll have this great skit,
Yeah.
and that's it, and they'll keep playing it for like 40 years.
Mhm.
And and you'll be remember, it's like Vanilla Ice. It's perfect, like Vanilla Ice. He had that Ice baby, and now he's at Trump mega rallies as the headliner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Trump just gathers one-hit wonders and like derelict superstars. That's what he does
Right.
now. Right, yeah.
So he's like that. You know what I'm saying to you? He's like,
Yeah.
he had, like, back in 2015, 2016, he had that, like, okay, it was us against them. I'm the regular guy. I'm for the little people. It's me against the world. I'm not a politician. That whole line that transformed into, I'm great and Biden is wrong at everything. Biden is his fault. I mean, it's the auto. I mean, he even literally said today, he mentioned the auto pen in the same sentence with the Epstein corruption. Like, I literally sat there like this. I said to myself, wait a second. I was trying to figure out maybe like how was he trying to link the Bidens to this one? I was trying to say, okay, the Biden signed some Epstein kind of thing with was there an auto pen involved? But he mentioned the auto pen. I mean, like
That has nothing to do with the Epstein files, by the way. The auto pen has nothing to do with the Epstein files. And the auto pen is the least of everybody's worries at the moment. Like any kind of automatic signature. And they're like, dude, there's a decades long child sex trafficking ring that your name is involved with, along with hundreds of your friends. He's like, well, the auto pen, dude. No. There's like a decade long, and you repeat yourself about the pedophile sex ring that his name is involved in, pictures, likeness, probably video. And he's like, you know what? I haven't really thought about that, but the fucking auto pen, like, it's just,
what the he's like, do you see how I signed? No auto pen here.
no, I get a Sharpie and I do this thing. And it's the same thing with every distraction, and there's no substance behind it. It just says words like auto pen or Obama and Russia. And that kicked up this weekend again. The failed attempt, and it's clearly failing. I was watching Hannity for some fucking unknown reason this week. I'm like, I want to see what Hannity says about all this Russiagate stuff. And he came out this weekend and said, and I'm paraphrasing, uh, yeah, Trump's in Scotland, and sure, he was golfing. By the way, he got caught cheating. I'm going to get to that in a second. Twice, not once, twice. But Obama was the worst president in the history of the United States, and Obama and Russia. But they haven't, even Tulsi Gabbard with her cool graphics. This is the great opera right now. They're like, hey, how can we put fucking Trump in handcuffs? How can we change the news cycle and get everybody distracted again? There has never been any substance or any receipt or any proof that Barack Obama, Comey, Clapper, all those guys had anything to do with framing Donald Trump when it came to his collusion. Like, not one. They just keep like vaguely referring to Russia. That's all he did this weekend.
Well, because it's like, he throws a bottle of ketchup against the wall, and also Tulsi Gabbard's like, oh, I got it. That's it. I got it, boss. I'm gonna, do investigation. Here comes some referrals. Let's refer Obama. Criminal investigation. Boom. And then the base, everybody turns around and says, wait a second. But did the Supreme Court say Obama can't even get indicted because of because of? So then here comes Trump. Obama needs to thank me. He needs to thank me because of me. He has immunity because the Supreme Court now. So now Obama has to take it. But his base is listening to all this shit. Like, I go on these spaces to listen. Like, they are discussing this. Before, I would have to argue. Before, I would have to come in there and argue and say, but wait a second, he just said this. It's different now. They're the ones saying, like, did you just hear the shit that came out of his mouth? Did you just hear, like, he's just protecting, like, this pedophile again? Or he's trying to shut it down? It's like, I mean, I haven't seen Alex Jones cry so much. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, I think he cries every day. He's like pulling his hair, crying, please come back, Messiah, Trump, we need you to be Elon. Everybody make friends. Laura Loomer doesn't know already what everybody kiss and make up. The elections are coming. I mean, like, this, you can't make this shit up. Like, it's like,
well, yeah, but the grift is going to end for those guys, right? Like, I want to get to the cheating because it speaks to this immunity deal that he gave Ghislaine Maxwell, a convicted rapist and sex trafficker, gave her an immunity deal to talk to Todd Blanche, your former lawyer, who's the deputy AG. Video this weekend caught cheating red-handed. You know those 29 club championships that he's won over? Those 29 club championships that he's won. You've been to Mar-a-Lago. I don't know if you've been with him for a round of golf. I don't know if you've watched him cheat, but he had his caddy at one point. This is fucking great. He hits his ball OB, which in golf terms is out of bounds. Now, listen, I played a lot of golf, still play a lot of golf. I'm about a 4 handicap. I understand the game. Yeah. I used to be a little better. I understand, lift, pull, and replace. I understand when you hit your ball in the fescue at Turnberry, you're not going to find it. So this is what he did. He hit his ball into the weeds, which is called fescue. Turnberry is a British links kind of parklands course, and he hits his ball there. He has his caddy. This is fucking incredible, dude. Oh my god, I can laugh thinking about it. Has his caddy walk ahead of the golf club that he's on, the golf cart. He's got opera music playing, by the way, and show tunes music. It's really fucking creepy. And he has his caddy walk over and slowly put his hand down and flip a ball onto the fucking course where he can play it. And he's got a great lie magically, and he gets out and he's watching. Like, I watched the video 40 times. You can go and check it out on my Substack, deanblundell.substack.com. And I've got a mashup of it in slow motion where you can see Donald Trump watching his caddy like slowly place the ball, and Donald Trump gets out like, oh, I found my ball. Like, it's just, and he hits the ball, and then another video of him pushing a putt towards the hole, doesn't go in, so he slowly walks up to it and just picks it up and walks off the course, gives himself a gimme. It is like it speaks to him lying and cheating at fucking everything, though, dude.
Can I say something? Like, I mean,
Please,
like,
yes.
you portray, I mean, beautifully. I mean, South Park has nothing on you, Dean. But no, let me tell you, we'll get to South Park in a second, also, because you see he's not responding. But golf, I want everybody. For those of you that don't play golf or know nothing about golf, it's very interesting. I want to tell you a little story. So, growing up
Is
in
this a little
Brooklyn,
story time with Lev? Or are we getting a little free
so
story time? Oh, yeah.
so growing up in Brooklyn, I knew nothing about golf. You know, we
Yeah.
had concrete cement. We had no golf courses in Brooklyn. Like, you know, so I moved to Florida, and the first thing I need to figure out this golf game. So I go sign myself up to this very nice country club, and want to learn the game of golf. You know. So the first thing, this one guy, Dave Correa, I'll never forget, he told me, this caddy that we know when we just started playing, he goes, I want you to understand, Lev, golf is an honors system. It's a game of honor.
Mhm.
First to yourself. Because you're really playing against yourself, not because, you always want a good score and everything. And you always, you're not, nobody's watching, there's no cameras, like you're not on so it's like an honor system. Like what you write down, that you don't kick the ball, that you don't move, because everybody can't
You don't
see
throw it
you.
out of the sand trap, give it the foot wedge, the hand wedge. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He goes, and, he goes to me, you'll get to know the different guys because I was using golf for business. He goes, and we were talking about. He goes, you'll get to know over the years. He was good. It was. I'll never forget this. He goes that the guys that cheat in golf are such cheaters in the real world. When it comes to business, their wives, their everything else. He goes, I can't explain to you, Liv. There's just something about it that you will see with time. He goes that even the biggest cheaters out there try not to cheat in golf. It's the only game you try to somehow, like, you have some sort of pureness. And this is where Donald. Now, listen. I know he cheats. We all know. I've never personally played a round of golf, but I know plenty of people that played with him that have reported, have said. So I could guarantee I would bet my life on it. But you are not now the president. You're being watched by the whole world.
Like, he's blatantly cheating.
But you know what the worst part of it? You know what could everybody out there, you probably say, what could be worse than that? You know what's worse than that, guys? I'm going to tell you what's worse than that. And this is with Donald Trump. And this just shows you a perfect example of who Donald Trump is, that piece of shit. He not only he cheated, but he forced that caddy to cheat. A guy
He had someone cheat for him, which is his MO.
And that guy, I could promise you, for him, it was probably the worst thing because, when you take it seriously, being a caddy, golf, you don't want to be caught on television cheating. And here you got the president of the United States. This is what you're going to do, Bob. You're going to go out there, you're going to flip it over here, and you're going to walk away.
Oh, by the way, I want a playable lie, you piece of shit. You put it in a place where I can hit it. Dude, like, think about, like, what you just said is so profound and simply profound that's Trump's MO. What you saw that caddy do for him this weekend, that was you in Ukraine.
Yeah. Yeah. Well,
right.
That's what people, that was everybody out there that he doesn't know anymore.
Dude, I'm seriously like the usability of this man, how he uses people to cheat and lie
because
and
because
steal for him.
because because just think about it. If you ever confront them and say, "Hey,
Plausible
President Trump,
deniability.
right? Did you just throw that ball? What
No,
ball?
that guy did.
No, I didn't see it. It was laying there. I got there. It was laying there. I didn't throw no ball. I didn't touch it. It was laying there.
Yeah.
But the guy throw it. Well, go speak to him. I don't know. What do you want from me? Did I touch the ball? Did you see me touch the ball? No. Did you see
Yeah.
me throw the ball? No. Did you see me place the ball? No. So then why are you asking me? Did I touch it? No. Go speak to whoever you want.
Yeah. How about
And
that?
this poor
Hey,
this poor guy's gonna be sitting there like this, like, oh,
shitting his fucking pants. Dude, how about the very same, like you just played out a perfect scenario. Uh hey, Donald Trump, did Pete Hegseth stop? Did you stop aid going into Ukraine? I don't know anything you're talking about. Well, did Pete Hegseth do it? I don't know. You're gonna have to ask him. If anybody did it, he did it. Had nothing to do with me.
he's
Tom.
sitting right next to you, but he's sitting right there. He's sitting like literally, he's literally like you're like touching each other. Like you gotta ask him. Like, okay, so ask him. Like, did you? Hey Pete, why did you do that? Or
I don't
why?
know. Ask Mike. I don't know. Ask my caddy. I don't know. Ask Lev fucking Parnas. Dude, it is a perfect analogy. Like that video, it's like 11 seconds long. It is the perfect analogy for who this man is. He said it. He did it again yesterday with Ghislaine Maxwell, where they asked him, "Hey, are you thinking about a pardon?" He's like, "Too early for a pardon. We talked about it earlier. Let's get into it. Too early for a pardon." Todd Blanche, my lawyer, great guy. He's going to do a great job. He's the deputy AG. He's also my lawyer. And we're like, okay, that's also fucking terrible. You demented moron. And then he's like, but I'm allowed to do it. I have the power to do it. And if you want the real list, I'll get you the fucking real list. It's got Bill Clinton's name in it, the president of Harvard, who I'm at war with, and a whole bunch of hedge fund guys that live with him. Now, the interesting part is when we talk about that admission of a list, which we dealt with earlier, it's attached to this interview that Todd Blanche had with Ghislaine Maxwell over the past 2 days, 10 hours. Her lawyer came out and he's like, well, Trump said he has the power to pardon, so we're hoping he pardons one of the world's second most decorated rapist child trafficker. We hope he does that, and she got immunity. What are you hearing about the nature of those conversations? And because we'll get to the projection of what we think is happening in a second, I think you and I are both aligned. But what have you heard about what went on between Trump's personal lawyer and Maxwell's personal lawyer?
Yeah, no, he's lying about everything. From
No way.
yeah, I mean it's typical. I wrote about it, and basically, right after Blanche finished up with Maxwell, he was on with Trump, downloading him on everything that she was going to say and which names, and they choreographed basically of which route they're gonna go, and that's why you're starting to see because with Trump, he keeps it's part of that Stalin method. They keep repeating something long enough, and so already just think about how many times he's mentioned Larry Summers, how many times he's mentioned Clinton, how many times he's mentioned hedge fund. It's the same key words. It's these it's strategical. He started and he's already implementing, but at the same time, he's saying to you because it's a strategical psychological attack because he's implementing these names in your head. At the same time, he's saying he knows nothing about it. He has nothing to do with the list. He knows nothing. He doesn't even know. Nobody's even approached him about a pardon. No, I mean her lawyer went on social media is speaking to your lawyer, their best buds, talking about how she should get pardoned, and you're saying nobody even approach. I mean, like he doesn't even. He's like living, because he just it just I can't even, you can't. I really, if I had what I sometimes wanted to just to get back into Mega for a second, just to switch hats, I just want to sit in that room with Todd Blanche and them and see what their reaction like when he goes and says this shit, like because I remember I like Rudy's and all of that, all of them, everywhere we go batshit wild, like every time he'd say something again that against the Bidens or the Ukraine, but back then it was all more positive. Like he would be more supportive of the plan. Like now he's like off the rails. Like, I mean, he's just like saying, and again, a lot of it I think has to do with the combination of age, B, cognitive decline, C, I think he does have health issues. Today, you also saw in the interview on his hand right here, there was like a big blotch. It was like a dark spot.
Mhm.
Okay, that's not normal for any medicine or anything. That obviously there's something's wrong. So it's not
Congestive
normal.
heart failure seems to be the consensus of medical professionals that kind of bruising, the edema, what's going on with him is like it's not even close to venous insufficiency, it's congestive heart failure, which seems to be the runaround, and that bruise is massive now, like, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, to your point.
Yeah, no, it's and definitely, and that's the scary part because you also start hearing other things. Now, all of a sudden, you hear Vance and little Marco going out. Who's going to be next in line to take over? You know, they're already starting to have these conversations. But definitely, what I'm hearing in the background, that definitely there's a plan already formed. Let me put it to you this way: that there's already a platform. It's just that they're going to roll it out in the next day or two. You're going to start seeing names. You're going to start seeing, and I'm just surprised because what I was hearing is they were going to do something different with Maxwell. But with Trump, this is the crazy part. I mean, just think about it. Like he has the power to do something where he doesn't have to ever pardon her right now, or ever like he could have her disappear off the planet Earth, come out of prison in a different name, different what's it called. Nobody would even know the difference.
Yeah.
Just think about
Well,
it. He could do that,
yeah.
but he still chooses to float that part.
Well, I know, right? But like he never closes any doors where his fortunes are concerned. Like, and you know that from watching him. Like he vacillates, doesn't commit to anything. And some of the things that are really interesting about this meeting that you're talking about, and I want to get to your projection about what they're trying to plan in terms of maybe congressional testimony in return for clemency or some kind of pardon, which is fucking crazy. They gave use immunity to Ghislaine Maxwell as part of these 2 days, which means Maxwell could talk freely. Prosecutors during 2 days without any of her statements being used against her. She's a convicted rapist and child trafficker and has immunity. I mean, you don't give someone who is serving a 20-year sentence immunity, right? It's not going to get any worse or better for her. Now, the deal apparently was struck between Todd Blanche and her lawyer, this guy named David Oscar Marcus. But here's what we know according to best place sources. Maxwell does want a pardon. Her lawyer told the media, to your point, we'd welcome any relief. We hope President Trump exercises his power in a just way. We know what that means. When Trump was asked about it, he says, I haven't thought about it, but I'm allowed to. Something he said about every single criminal that he's pardoned that is on his team. Reports say that this is what I heard, and I want your input because you know, or you know people on the inside, that the Trump team is working on a strategy to possibly sacrifice friends and enemies as part of this list. Clinton, Prince Andrew, even some Trump donors and people he's associated with to shield himself as part of any agreement with Maxwell. Are you hearing sort of the same thing?
100%. That's exactly what's being formulated right now because she is going to have to testify in front of Congress, in front of lots of committees. So this way, right now it is being worked out what is going to be her testimony, and you have to understand the interesting part here, and what makes this more dangerous is because they're not fine tuning to what she needs to say because she could go out there and say the truth. It's what they're omitting which is very important. You know what I'm saying to you? Because yes, if there's 100 people and she goes out and only talks about five
Hmm.
and omits and clears the other 95, I mean that's what we're talking about here. We're not talking about her making up stories, because some people are saying, "Oh, how is she they're going to have to verify her story about Bill Clinton." Trust me when I tell you, if she's going to come out about Bill Clinton, be ready to nail Bill Clinton. Be ready to, I mean, because I'm not going to sit here and justify any of these people that were part of this thing. I don't care if they're Republican,
Yeah,
Democrat.
that's like the MAGA pushback, right? Where they're like, be
Right, right.
careful what you ask for because Clinton might be in there and like, I don't give a shit. I
Good,
want all of the
good,
names.
man,
Yeah.
good. Fucking nail Clinton. Yeah, I mean, if he
Yeah.
if he was on there and he was out there doing this shit, I don't even know like why are we even talking about it? Like it's not even like he did. What's so great about Clinton? Like he's just, you know what I'm saying to you. Just that's what I'm trying to say to you. So yes, there's a story formulated.
Mhm.
They're going to roll it out. And Maxwell, the dangerous part about it, like I said, it's easier to omit things than to make things up. See, that's why, and it's easy for him to formulate the story, to push it through. Because if you could get like a guy like Clinton, we're going to use Clinton just as an example. I'm not saying he's guilty. We have no idea what's it called, but assuming, let's say, she has the goods on Clinton, right? And she comes out tomorrow in front of the congressional committee or whatever and gives these goods and testifies and shows records or whatever, some kind of smoking gun. Trust me when I tell you that is going to move the news cycle. You know what I'm saying to you? That is going to shift a whole view, and it's going to give his base that red juicy blood, and it's going to give him, and at that point, it's not going to see right now. It's like everybody wants to know everything, but then when you get a little bit, you're like, oh, okay, we got more than at least he promised, at least he got this. Maybe we don't need to hear everything. At least we got enough.
Mm.
And this is where the scary part is. That's why we need to be very, very careful and how we, tread water here. And I tell that to the Democrats. I'm actually leadership. I'm actually going to be tomorrow in Washington D.C. I'm going to be there for a couple of days. I got some meetings lined up, trying to figure out what the next steps about going on the road and how to get this unified message out there, and trying to get some more support from, the Democratic leadership, because unfortunately they're all over the place. Everybody's on their own, and this is needs to be a unified message, and it costs money. You know what I'm saying to you? There's this ain't something where you could go out there and just go out there and, okay, I'm going to go out there and love Parnas and start, speaking. I mean, they'll find me in a ditch somewhere tomorrow. You know what I'm saying to you? It's like, yeah, you got Mega on the Prowl, you got the Proud Boys, all of these guys out there that are deputized and all kinds of shit. Like, that's it. That's the other scary part, is that they're so immersed that if you got a Trump supporter doing committing some sort of crime, violent crime against a Trump hater, the prosecution, the going after, the way the media will circle, all of a sudden it'll become self-defense.
Mm.
All of a sudden it will become self-defense, stand your ground, and here you are drinking a soda. Guy just came up in this. So this is the world we live in.
Mm. Yeah, and we go back to that with the distractions, because we're talking about distractions here, right? We're talking about distractions from Obama's Russiagate bullshit to the fuck, a number of them. Like he accused Beyonce of a crime this last weekend. Like, yeah, Beyonce said she should be investigated for giving Kamala $11 million, which never fucking happened. I mean,
But just
everything.
think about that for a second.
Yeah,
Just think. I'm sorry to interrupt you.
no,
Think about
please.
that. Dean, think about what you just said for a second. And this is very important for all of you to think that because you guys start. One of the reasons why you follow us and you listen is because I'm giving you an inside scoop of how Trump thinks. Just like I gave you that analogy about the golf, how he forces other people to do his dirty work, and it just shows you from a simple thing like getting a caddy to do it, to then sending me to Ukraine, or others, ambassadors and others doing it. So that's Trump's methodology. Same thing as his messages that he's coming out here and doing all of these things that we're trying to break down and give you this, because these are messages. This is not, he's not, just doing it for sake. These are all little messages that he has going on in the background. And by the way, I'm sorry, I have this mosquito bite here. I can't, just bit me.
Dude, you guys have mosquitoes in Florida?
Dude, I swear to you, when I even hear, if you can't even imagine, Dean, how bad it is at this alligator Alcatraz.
Yeah.
It's right in the swamp. I'm talking mosquitoes. There are mosquitoes bigger than you that are flying around and over there. I mean, it's like that's some bad shit that's going on here right now in Florida.
Mm.
And then you got the attorney general here, running around saying we need to open up more of these. We need to expand it. We need to throw thousands of people. Just think about. I mean, just think about what we're talking about. I mean, this is how insane we're talking about. That we have a concentration camp called Alligator Alcatraz, that people are being thrown in there, American citizens, non-American citizens, people, criminals, non-criminals, with no due process. So it's not like, you're used to watching movies, you think, oh, you get arrested in America, you have a right, you could demand your right to a phone call, your right to my
Speak to a lawyer.
Miranda, my lawyer.
Yeah.
That shit don't work no more. They slap you, throw you in the back, and say you don't you who do you speak to? Who do you complain to? They grab you, they throw you in the car, your wife standing there. I still am so traumatized by that video of that guy, American citizen, being thrown in by ICE, and his wife is screaming, he's an American citizen. What the hell are you guys doing? He's an American citizen. And the guy turning around saying, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't give a shit. Like, you know what I'm saying to you? So they don't take him to a jail cell, and then now he has to see a judge within 24 hours for the judge to find probable cause to, there's none of that happening. This is what I'm trying to say to you. You could literally, I know some of you that follow me, I told you, I have friends that are scared to send their kids, their kids that were born here, second generation, but they're brown skin, you know what I'm saying to you? They don't look like that pure white Stephen Miller. And, they hang out with other Latinos. And in Florida here, we have lots of different, like, we have these like taco trucks and all this type of stuff. They're scared to go to a taco truck because you got ICE agents behind the taco truck, and you're scared to get caught up in I mean, this is how crazy. And this is
Yeah, I
what's
heard
going
I heard
on.
California's street food business is like dead, like because it was largely run by Latinos and immigrants and people that were trying to make it, and they're so afraid to go out and sell. They just closed up shop and they took everything home because I don't know if you remember that one instance where a father of four U.S. Marines, four of them, who ran a taco truck in L.A., got his head bashed in by ICE agents and thrown in detention before they realized, oops, we put an American citizen who's the father of four Marines in detention center, and so they just let him walk out and admitted no wrongdoing. By the way,
Well, right. Well, that's the crazy part. It's like because there's no due process. I mean,
yeah,
this is what we're living in, and just think about how crazy. If we would have been sitting here and talking about this 6 months ago prior to the election, everybody would have thought that we're crazy. Everybody, how many people when I used to sound the alarm 6 months ago, a year ago, saying, I mean, Donald Trump's going to do this. People used to tell me, even, just so you understand, it's not just us Americans, even Ukrainians. You know, how many Ukrainians, like I would go on Ukrainian shows and, we would talk about this is prior to elections, and they literally would be, for Donald Trump. And I'd be, are you people crazy? Like, if Donald Trump comes in here, he's going to allow Russia to massacre you. And
hmm
they would be, no, Lev, you have no, this is all a political act. I go, it's not a political act. I know the guy.
hmm
I sat with him. I told you, I mean, we had conversations directly about this, and I'm telling you, and they're like, no, now they're begging me to come on and, talk about some more because they're like, we can't believe that this is actually happening. Same thing here in the United States. I mean, just think about it. I mean, he took away all our rights, and I mean, and I'm telling you, as sick and crazy as it is, I beg and I warn and I scream and I tell everybody, don't take your eye off the ball, because the
hmm
most important thing is election reform. Because the most important thing that he's doing, and this is all going back to by him, keep pushing the string a little bit by arresting people, right, and throwing them into these concentration camps without due process. What do you think is going to start happening during the election when he's going to have ICE agents all over flooding all of these what's it called polling
polling
sites and
stations. Yeah,
polling
yeah.
stations and when and you're going to be standing there in line, and all of a sudden they're going to come up to you and say, let me see your ID. Let me see who you are. Let me see
Papers, please.
let me see your papers. Like, I mean, like, how do you even prove that you're an American citizen? Are you supposed to walk around right now with your birth? I mean, because it's not even a birth certificate. You have to have actual your certificate of citizenship. Is that what you need to walk around with, a certificate? And even that, like, I mean, it's a piece of paper. They could say you faked it. Like, I mean, I could go print one out right now. I mean, so how do you even prove that you're an American citizen without due process? Without going in front of a judge, I mean, mistakes happen. See, we're not
Yeah,
talking about mistakes happening. We're talking about this is not a mistake. This is something that's being done on purpose to intimidate, to scare. Just like what you listen to what you just said. The street food is way down because a lot of these people. This is a prelude to the elections. Just think about how many people you think are going to go out there that are going to try to vote, or that even have a slight chance of getting caught up in this.
Well, and you think about that, right? Like they're picking up immigrants who are legally in this country, going into a customs office to get their visa, being greenlit for their visa. They're hiding in the fucking bushes. Do you not think that what they're going to do, and the chilling effect? Everybody's like, "Oh yeah, Americans are scared to leave their house for sure." I get it, but think about the migrants who are here legally. Think about migrants who are American citizens, naturalized citizens, who are afraid to fucking man a taco truck. You think they're going to fucking go and vote? No, no, and to your point, which is why I love talking to you, among other things, because we love to laugh at the things you have to laugh about. Not just the information, but you always bring it all the way back around to the start of the conversation. You know, well, we're talking about craziness, we're talking about cognitive decline, we're talking about the Epstein files, we're talking about the distractions, whether it's the Beyonce lawsuit or Obama colluded with Russia with Comey and Clapper and all the other shit. It's to prevent you from watching what's happening in your front yard. It is to prevent you from having a problem with Donald Trump trying to steal the election while he's beating the shit out of you, scaring the living garbage out of the beautiful people that live in that country, to stand up to him because he is going to try to steal and rig the next election. And he's going to do it with violence. He's going to do it with fear. And that is why we're here. That is what we're here to talk about. And when you tell people in a post, by the way, levparnas.substack.com, he is the best follow on Substack right now. He is the best guy to listen to when it comes to being able to decode or have a Sherpa walk you through these distractions, the flooding of the playing field, the flooding of the zone with bullshit, because the entire goal here, Epstein files or not, is to turn America into his fiefdom. It's to turn America into a police state. And he's got $150 billion for ICE and DHS now to do it. So when you think about all the, and the cheating at golf, which is just, whatever, we talk about the different aspects or issues when it comes to what Donald Trump is. Donald Trump is a dictator. He is a despot. He is a fucking psycho. He is cognitively impaired. So he's even more dangerous because he's not given to the whims of actually having any kind of humanity whatsoever when he's that fucked. And his whole goal is just to outrun it all in time to be able to put all of you in a position where you do not get the free right to vote that your forefathers, grandfathers, ancestors fought and fucking died for. That is what Lev is trying to continually tell everybody. He's an award-winning whistleblower, and my God, dude, you give maybe the best analysis and behind the scenes look behind what the Wizard of Idiots is truly up to. So really appreciate
I love you, bro. I love the way you put the Wizard of Idiots. I mean, you can't. I mean, you take the word. You take the words right out of my mouth.
Dude, you had me at hello.
No, but I appreciate. I'm humbled and I appreciate everything you say. And when it comes to independent journalists, everybody has a different style. And Dean Blundell, let me just tell you too, the way he brings it to you, because a lot of this stuff is so serious that it's hard to even laugh. But to be able to get through this information and not leave with your heart palpitating, but actually maybe a little, jaw hurting from smiling a little bit, thinking, it'll be okay. Because at the end of the day, it'll be okay if we all stick together. As crazy as it sounds, guys, I tell you, because we see, the cracks, we see the breakups, we see what's happening. It's just a matter of literally right now getting some leadership in the Democratic Party, getting somebody to come out there, and be that shining light to use this information, because we have the facts, we have the proof, we have the information, we know what he's doing, we know even where to target, we know how to fix it. But you need somebody to go out there and take charge. That's one of the reasons why you need independent journalism right now, like Dean, like the Midas guys, like my son Aaron out there, and others. They're doing, out there
like
doing
you,
incredible.
like you, like you.
I appreciate, I'm humbled because, I don't consider myself a journalist like you guys, because, I've never thought I was the farthest thing that you would think that I would be out there reporting news, because I don't think I report the news. I look at myself as more somebody that breaks it down, that could give you give you an average person an easy way of understanding to through all this garbage, because a lot of the way the news is represented, a lot of the way the news is transformed, cycled, and then filtered through, by the time you get it as the viewer, or you get it as the listener or the subscriber, it's their version of the news. It's not it's and it's whoever's writing that version, and
Mm.
it's if that person, and it's always an opinion. And as I say, lots of people have opinions. So I say myself as I'm somebody, I'm one of them. I was on that inside. I was one of those people that came out. So I'm out there risking it to tell you guys what is going on. So then you could do the great work you do and report. When me and you speak, you're able to now when you're writing your articles, you're writing your articles to your subscribers with already an inside view. And it's a lot different perspective than just an opinion, because now you are starting to know the man. You're starting to know these people. You're starting to understand. And that's the important part, because I think you have to know your enemy to be able to defeat your enemy. The first thing, and that's what the reason why Donald Trump won the first time and this time, is because he was underestimated by the Democrats. They don't even know him. At least Hillary Clinton had him over at Chelsea's wedding. I mean, what's her name? Kamala never even sat in the same room with him. Never even spoke to the guy that she was running against when she decided to run out. You know what I'm saying to you? So you
Hmm.
have to know who your enemy is, and and that's why I think we make such a great combination, that guys like myself that are out there risking it to get that information, and then guys like you that are out there then bringing it to the people to be able to understand it.
Mm. Well, dude, either way, your courage is Herculean. You're an American hero. I'm just happy to be able to ride shotgun and make some sense of it with you and be able to ferret it through, because this is as much for me as it is for everybody else. Because you said it best a couple seconds ago. We're you. Lev is you. I am you. We are people that are disgusted with the state of the union. We are people who love democracy, love each other, stand for basic human fundamental rights, love, empathy, kindness, not meanness and violence and lies and cheating. And that's all we see. So the fact that we get welcomed into your place, the fact that you subscribe to what we do, the fact that you share this time with both Lev and I, where we can have Lev Sherpa us through the inside and the outside and be able to make sense of what we see, and popularize it, and maybe have a little laugh while we're at it, because some of this stuff's pretty funny. Go and watch the Trump cheating video with golf on my Substack. It's so fucking good. But more importantly, just the idea that a group of people are coming together, not from one country, but from 132 different countries, that subscribe to our Substacks, our podcasts, that listen to this because they need to be affirmed, they need to be informed, but more importantly, they need to feel a little bit of comfort knowing exactly what this man's intentions are. You are right. You are not crazy. If you're watching this, you're not the crazy one. Okay? They are. And the crazy people have it's the inmates are running the asylum, so to speak. So just stay with us. Make sure you subscribe to Lev. He is number one in world politics. He is easily one of my favorite people, and you can trust everything that comes out of this gentleman's mouth. He's an award-winning whistleblower, an author. Shadow Diplomacy, go and get it. From Russia to Russia, from Lev. Unbelievable documentary. Highly encourage everybody to go watch it. But go and subscribe to his Substack, free or paid. Paid keeps us in the business, keeps us in the game. Myself as well. But we're just happy you're here, dude. I will see you, I'm sure, this week again. But for sure next Monday for another weekend roundup. Thank you, brother. Really appreciate it.
I love you, bro. Definitely, we got some. I just want to say, there's a lot going to be happening this week. My sources are telling me that. Just stay tuned. So I think we're definitely going to be out there again this week before we get to Monday. Me and you'll definitely come out there. I'll be in Washington the next 3 days, so maybe we'll
Okay.
do something out of Washington. Actually, I might have some Substack. Maybe we'll join
Do you
somebody.
want to do 11 Washington couple updates? Me,
Yeah,
you, maybe grab Cohen, Nance. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we'll definitely, absolutely, we'll put
All right.
something together, because there's a lot of stuff happening, and definitely, the one thing I will also tell you, and I'll leave it off at this, because a lot of people I know, or we talk about and we say, well, when he does this or when he does this, and I've been getting into these debates with even our own people saying, well, Lev, if he crosses the line and he goes arrests Obama, people are going to be in the streets. I just want to tell everybody, and just tell what's it called, is that we need to be in the streets now then. because
Mm.
we're already, what difference does it matter if he arrests Obama? He's arresting American citizens already. Doesn't matter. We can't keep pushing the red line and saying, if he does this, if he does that. He's already done enough to show us we're already living in a very, very, very tough times, and it's only going to get worse. So stop thinking of what's the next thing he could do that's going to take you over the edge, and instead just think of what we could do now. What we could do
Mm.
now. Can we call our senator or congressman? Can we write an email? Can we go out there and protest? Can we become subscribers? Can we get 4 more people that might be working and don't get this information, don't know what's going on, onto the Substack so they could subscribe, so they could hear and pass it on? That one thing and that's why I want to leave you off with that. Everybody needs to do something. The one thing you can do, there is nothing. Is nothing. Oh, by the way, I see a lot of you keep asking, did I ask for 5,000? I think my account was hacked. I did not ask anybody for no money. I did not email anybody. So there's somebody, I think my account got hacked, and he's emailing and sending people some stuff. So I've contacted Substack. I've let them
Oh, you
know.
got hacked on Substack already? So did I, actually.
Yeah,
It's interesting. We both got
yeah.
hacked this weekend.
You too? I just literally, just now, I was gonna say it, and then I forgot about it, and then somebody just wrote down, Did you ask me for 5,000?" I was like, "No, I did not ask you."
Yeah, just
And
so
then
you know, we're like banks. We never ask you for money. So if you get an email from us saying we're in trouble, we're not. If we need money, we don't. Just subscribe, hang out with us. But yeah, I got hacked this weekend too, to the point where none of my counters were working. I had a ton of subs that went missing. I had notes go out to people from my Substack that were highly fucking irregular and shitty. So everybody, we will never solicit anything from you. We will never ask you for anything. So don't, if you see it, it's like spam, stay away from it. I put a note in as well. Let me know how it goes. We should talk about that. Actually,
yeah,
I didn't know. Yeah, I thought it was.
absolutely. Keep
I thought it was on my own. Yeah.
absolutely out, but it's happening.
All right, brother. Listen, thanks for doing this.
Yeah, no, thank you. Everybody, happy Monday. Have a great week. Beginning of the week, lots to go out and set your alarms, set your notifications, and stay tuned, stay vigilant. And like I say, keep your eye on the ball. The number one thing is election reform. Don't, whatever else going, there's a lot of important things happening, but keep your eye on the ball. Don't let them take our votes away, because if they take our votes away, they took away everything. There goes our freedom. Love
Yeah.
you guys. Have a great day. Take care.
Take care, brother. Lev Parnas, ladies and gentlemen. LevParnas.substack.com is where you can find him. Yeah, weird. We were both hacked. Right? Like right now. I'm on one device that says we've got well over 1,000 people. I'm on another device that says one. We don't, folks, if you're watching and listening, no matter when you watch it, I will never ask you to send me $5,000. I will never tell you I'm in trouble and you got to send me money, because if you don't, blah, 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 blah. Won't happen. Specifically not here on Substack. And there have been a rash of new accounts on Substack. Yeah. The powers that be have realized that Substack is a problem. People like Lev are a problem. Michael Cohen, problem. David Packman, problem. Midas Touch, problem. Problem. So many problems on Substack because they let people talk. They let people have a conversation. You know, it is very influential. The things that we talk about here, what we deal with here, they notice. They matter. These conversations are part of a conversation at the Trump White House. These conversations are also part of conversations in Maple MAGA circles, Canadian dollar store version of what Donald Trump's up to, Pierre Poilievre and his group up here. These conversations are all problematic, which is why it's really important to share them. So please hit that share button, hit that like button. If you enjoyed this content, which you can fact check on your own, by the way, you don't need to go to my Substack, deanblundell.substack.com. By the way, 50% off annual subscriptions until the end of this month. So what, 3 days? And you get full access, Q&A chat, absolutely everything. So, and by the way, for life, you never pay more. But it's really important just to share this content. Free or paid, doesn't matter. Subscribe, support, cross post. If you found it interesting, and if you found it enlightening, and if you found the conversation today comforting, And if it is an affirmation and information at the same time, that you're not crazy, because I think that that's the big thing for a lot of people. You sit here at the end of a day where you read this information where, the rapist, felon, pedophile president of the fascist president of the United States is going to give a pardon to the second most decorated pedophile, sex trafficking rapist in America's history. You probably want to know why and how it happens and what's wrong with your country. And it's important to share those whys and the context and that information so that you understand it. And it's also important to share that information with people who supported this rapist, pedophile, felon president. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe, free or paid. Love you. Just happy you're here. Make sure that you subscribe to Lev's podcast as well, and to Substack. I'll be back tomorrow. No 5-stack today. I'll be back tomorrow, 3:00 with my friend Zev. So many Zevs, Levs. Zev at narrative.org. Of course, Zev Shalev, incredible writer, producer, who does these incredible deep dives. Make sure you go to narrative.org and subscribe there as well. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow.